cat stares at the wall, do you actually know what that means? Most people assume they're just being weird. We think, oh, they probably just saw a tiny bug, or maybe nothing at all, just a random, strange cat moment. But behind that simple action, there's something much deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most instinctive and revealing behaviors your cat has, and if you ignore it, which most owners do, you might completely miss what your cat is reacting to, or worse, overlook critical signals about their environment or their health. Let's start with what that silent staring really means. Number 1, your cat is detecting something you can't. Have you ever noticed your cat sitting perfectly still, eyes locked on a completely blank wall? Maybe their ears twitch slightly, their pupils widen, and they stay focused for minutes at a time. Most people think it's nothing. Maybe cats are just quirky, maybe they're bored. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat's senses are dramatically sharper than yours. Their hearing range goes up to around 64,000 hertz, which is more than 3 times higher than the absolute human limit. That means your cat can hear things inside walls that you simply cannot. Tiny movements, a faint scratching, even insects crawling through wood. Behavioral scientists who study domestic cats often describe this as micro-hunting behavior. Your cat is tracking something invisible to you. Think about that for a second. To you, the wall is silent, but to your cat, it might sound like a tiny, vibrating world of movement. And by the way, if your cat ever stares at the same wall repeatedly for days or weeks, don't brush it off. We'll get to why that matters later, and it's something many owners wish they had understood sooner. Number 2, their brain is built for invisible prey. Now here's where the science gets fascinating. A recent behavioral study from the University of Lincoln examined how domestic cats respond to faint environmental stimuli. Researchers found that cats frequently reacted to sounds and vibrations that humans could not perceive at all. But here's what most people don't realize. Cats evolved as ambush predators. Their brains are designed to detect the tiniest signs of prey hiding nearby. A mouse behind a wall, a beetle under the floor, even subtle vibrations traveling through the wooden structure of your home. Your cat's brain processes those signals instantly, and when they stare at a wall, they're doing something very natural, focusing their full, undivided attention on a possible hunt. But emotionally, this also tells you something about your cat. They feel safe enough in your home to activate their natural instincts. They see your home as territory worth defending and exploring. Think about that for a second. Your cat isn't confused. They're working. Number 3, walls are information hubs. Now here's something even more surprising. To your cat, walls are not just barriers, they're information hubs. Have you ever noticed your cat sniffing corners, rubbing their face along furniture, or pressing their nose near baseboards? Here's what's actually happening. Cats rely heavily on pheromones and scent detection. Their noses contain about 200 million scent receptors, compared to a human's 5 million. That means your cat is constantly reading invisible chemical messages in the air, other animals passing outside, tiny pests hiding in cracks, even scent trails left hours earlier. Behavioral researchers explain that cats often stare at walls when they detect faint scent movement combined with sound. In other words, the wall is telling your cat a story, movement, territory, possible intruders. And your cat is listening carefully, which means when they sit quietly staring at that spot, they're actually monitoring their environment, protecting the territory they share with you. And hey, if this is making sense to you, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying.
Number 4, it's an ancient survival code. The deeper reason for this behavior goes back much further. Long before cats lived in our cozy homes, wild cats survived by detecting prey hidden in burrows, deep grass, or underground tunnels. They had to notice movement that wasn't directly visible, a faint rustle beneath leaves, a vibration through the soil, a scratching sound inside a tree trunk. Animal cognition research shows that domestic cats still rely on these ancient detection systems. Your living room wall might look very different from a desert burrow, but to your cat's primal brain, the hunting rules are exactly the same. Something might be hiding there, something might move, and if it does, they must be ready. When your cat sits silently staring at a wall, they are tapping into instincts that are thousands of years old. That quiet focus is not random. It's ancient survival programming. Number 5. They They only do this where they feel safe. Here's where it becomes much more personal. Have you ever noticed that cats often do this in certain rooms more than others? Maybe the living room, maybe near your bedroom, maybe right where you spend the most time. Here's what most people don't realize. Cats only enter deep observation mode in spaces where they feel completely secure. In unfamiliar or stressful environments, cats tend to stay highly alert, scanning, and mobile. But when they settle down and watch a wall quietly, it means they feel comfortable enough to slow down and investigate their surroundings. Studies on domestic cat behavior show that relaxed monitoring like this almost always happens inside a cat's core territory zone, and that includes the spaces where their trusted humans live. So when your cat sits there calmly watching the wall, they aren't just observing, they're guarding, monitoring, protecting their environment, and by extension, protecting you. Number 6, they are hearing something that shouldn't be there. Now we get to the part most owners never realize. Remember earlier when I mentioned that repeated wall staring might matter more than people think? This is what I was talking about. Cats often detect hidden activity in a home long before humans notice it. Rodents behind drywall, insects in the insulation, even small animals inside attic spaces. Because cats hear frequencies we cannot detect, they often respond days or even weeks before humans become aware of the problem. Behavioral scientists have documented cases where cats repeatedly stared at or scratched specific wall areas where pests were later discovered. Think about that for a second. Your cat might be noticing something your senses simply can't pick up yet, which means that quiet staring behavior might actually be early environmental detection. Your cat isn't being strange. They're reporting information the only way they know how. Number 7, when wall staring signals something else. Now, here's the one situation where this behavior deserves closer attention. If your cat suddenly begins staring at walls much more often than usual, and there is no sound, no movement, and no environmental trigger, it could signal something different. Veterinary neurologists sometimes observe repetitive staring behavior in older cats experiencing cognitive decline or neurological stress. This is rare, but it's deeply important to know. If wall staring comes with other sudden changes, like confusion, pacing, or unusual vocalizing, it's always a good idea to consult a vet. But for the vast majority of cats, wall staring simply means one thing. Their senses are picking up details your human brain can't process, and they're investigating them exactly the way nature designed them to. So don't ignore it. Observe it. Your cat might be telling you much more than you realize.
So when your cat stares at the wall, do you actually know what that means? It's easy to assume they're just being strange, but now you know the truth. Your cat might be hearing hidden movement, tracking scent trails, monitoring their territory, or responding to primal instincts that go back thousands of years. That is not random behavior. That's your cat using some of the most advanced senses in the animal world to understand the environment they share with you. And that quiet moment when they sit still, eyes focused on something completely invisible, it was never meaningless to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either. But staring at walls isn't the only strange way your cat interacts with your home. Have you ever wondered why your cat insists on following you into the bathroom every single time you close the door? It has absolutely nothing to do with being clingy. I explain the deeply protective reason behind the bathroom guard duty in this video right here on the screen.